The converted man here. Well, I don't normally make 2 videos in one day, but I saw a thing and I have to respond. So, first, I would like to say that Totoro has nothing to do with the following video. Neither does really big Totoro have anything to do with the following video. Having said that, let's watch the following video, shall we?
Maybe I breathe through my mouth a lot when I talk or something, but if I wear a mask for more than 15 minutes, I feel faint. I feel ill. I feel my head hurts. I have to pick up the bottom of the mask and breathe through it. And the only reason why I'm really wearing a mask is because they will not serve you, or they will not let you into the door some places if you're not wearing that little piece of fucking cloth. And I wanted to make this video a good long time ago, but I've just been so busy with the world that I don't know if y'all seen the campaign, but it's like a seatbelt. Bitch, no the fuck it's not like a seatbelt, okay? I've had 3 fucking classmates die because it... Y'all hear that thunder? I've had classmates never make it to graduation because they didn't wear a seatbelt. Not having this isn't gonna fucking kill you, okay? I am offended. I am personally offended. I had classmates die because they were launched out of their fucking cars and run the fuck over in a freeway. Don't my fucking cousin died that way. Holy shit. Don't at me about this shit. Especially because there's never ever been a debate about whether seatbelts fucking save your life. Also, this ain't stopping you from getting the fucking Rona, okay? This ain't doing shit. This...
Where to begin? So, first and foremost, yes, actually, there was a debate about seatbelts and about whether or not they save lives way back when they were first introduced. They had to run campaigns to show that seatbelts would save lives. People initially resisted the idea of wearing them, and then eventually most states, or almost all states, I think, made it a law. But not just because it protects that person, but also because potentially it protects other people. Now, I'm sorry that you've lost people that you know due to not having seatbelts, but that on itself is bad. But imagine, if you will, the projectile that is the person that is flying out of the car, hitting another person, killing them, or another car possibly killing them or injuring other people. That would be really bad as well. So it's not just that the seatbelt protects that particular person, but that it also potentially protects all the other people out there. Now, I've seen on YouTube and other places motorcycle riders become little projectiles and wind up in the window of somebody else's vehicle. That's not good. They're usually probably hurt, if not killed by that, and potentially they've caused serious damage to that vehicle and or potentially the people inside. Them becoming a projectile is no good. But because it's a motorcycle, having a seatbelt would be a different sort of problem, and so you weigh the risks and reward, and what are you going to do there? But the people that usually ride motorcycles, they know how to crash, and they'll crash this way, vertically if they can, thus making themselves not become a projectile. But sometimes, of course, you can't control what happens in a crash, and so there's a risk. But they have to wear helmets because that will at least save them from injury, although it might not save other people. But there is a difference because the vehicle is different, and requiring them to wear a seatbelt would be an undue punishment for them versus the harm that it might cause the rest of society. But not that many people ride motorcycles, so it is a different thing. Now, the mask being like a seatbelt may be a campaign that they've started that I'm not aware of. And there are some similarities, but there also are not. But just like a seatbelt can save, well, it's a bad analogy, I'll grant that. The mask is not to protect you. So when you say this will not protect you against C-19, you're correct. It will not protect you against the COVID. That's not what it's for. It's to protect everybody else from the COVID. Now, maybe you personally do not have this, but unless you just got tested and said, hey, look, I just got tested and it said I don't have this, there would be no way for you to know if you do or do not have it. Well, I don't have symptoms. That doesn't matter. You might be carrying it and not have the symptoms because your body doesn't exhibit the symptoms. There is such thing as being a carrier for any given virus and not being affected by that virus. I don't know if that's possible with C-19, but I know it's possible with other viruses, so it probably is with this one. You can carry it and not be affected by it, and you might not know. And even if you just got tested, that doesn't mean a few minutes go by, you might have been exposed to it and gotten it again. So even though you just got a test and said, hey, I'm free of this stupid thing, it might be that you got it sometime after the test. Yeah, the chances are low and so on and so forth. But you don't ultimately know unless you were getting tested every single microsecond, and that's a little bit ridiculous. But the mask is to protect the rest of us. Even if you were carrying around a piece of paper or some ID that said, I just got tested and I don't have this, and we knew that that ID could not be faked in any way, shape, or form, then everybody would have to take the test and have that ID. And that would be a different sort of thing to put people through. This is just a simple stopgap solution. I and you and everybody else does not and cannot know who is carrying the dang thing and who isn't. Therefore, requiring all people to wear masks means that if they are carrying it, it will stay, hopefully, inside their mask where it belongs. Now, it might not, but it lowers the chances of it spreading. Every time you open your mouth to breathe, projectiles that you cannot see fly out. In fact, you can hear it because you hear my voice, but even when I'm just breathing, air is coming in and going out. And same thing with my nose. Air is coming in and going out. And some of that air will land on you. And if that air happens to be carrying our little evil non-friend here, then you've just gotten this potentially inside of you. And then your friends, families, etc. might die because some Joe Schmo wasn't wearing their mask when they should have been. Because, well, it made them a little bit uncomfortable. Sometimes things make us uncomfortable and we have to do them. People said the same thing about seatbelts. It's uncomfortable. In fact, the shoulder thing, that was basically invented to make it more comfortable. And also it was safer in the long run to have that. But there was the same sort of complaints at first. And that everywhere you go has regulations that you have to wear this, that's good. I don't want to go somewhere where, Now, so far, it's not regulated here too much, or maybe even at all. But I don't go out that much, so it doesn't really affect me. But if I do, I put on a mask. And it's stuffy, but you get used to the stuffiness after a while. It does not make you breathe in more carbon dioxide. Everyone that says that is a complete, utter idiot and has no idea how anything works. It's been tested multiple times by multiple people of how much oxygen you're getting in and how much CO2 you get out when you have a mask on. So, simply put, it doesn't hurt you to wear it. It might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable if you're getting lightheaded. That might have to do more with psychology than with your breathing. You might be changing how you breathe because you're wearing a mask, so you just have to get used to wearing a mask. Doctors and nurses wear masks a lot. Even all day, a doctor could potentially be wearing a mask. Dentists as well. So there was some schmuck on the comments that said that it weakens your immune system, and that person is a complete and utter moron. Plus, they're wrong. Plus, they don't have an argument. Plus, the science is not with them. Why would doctors wear it if it made your immune system weaken? They wear it so that germs are not spread. They wear it for your health. Plus, it makes a nice little shield in case blood gets splattered on their face. That's why sometimes they wear glasses, by the way. They'll wear, these glasses to protect their eyes from fluids hitting their eyeballs. Now, COVID is spread through the air, as far as we understand it. And it's through these little tiny particles that you can't see that come out of your mouth and nose, and they go into the air, and they get somebody, and then they have it. And it doesn't matter if it's uncomfortable. It doesn't matter that you don't like it. That's irrelevant. Because even though you think you don't have it, you might have it. Even if you can prove that you don't have it, that doesn't mean that Joe Schmo out there also doesn't have it. And if we start giving out special exceptions like, well, you don't have to wear it because it doesn't make you feel comfortable, well, that's not very fair, is it? If everyone has to do it, you have to do it as well. It's not just for you, it's for everyone else. Okay, having said all that, I'm sure that now that you've gotten that emotional outburst out of your system, that you'll resume with logic and reason. I haven't watched the rest of this video yet. I just felt compelled to respond to this bit of this video, but I'm very sure that you will be logical and reasonable in the next part of your video. And I'm not saying that because I know that she won't be. I genuinely think and believe that she will become rational and logical in the next part of the video.
Especially, so many people don't seem to remember that one report that said COVID can get through the eye mucus. And then suddenly they remembered it recently because they're talking about goggles now. It's like, are we living in the steampunk dystopia? The cyberpunk dystopia?
Well, I was wrong. Oh no. Oh no, look at what I did. I dropped it into my soda. Ah! Anyways. I definitely have C19 now if I didn't before. I just drank soda with the fake C19 in it. And it dripped all over my microphone. Oh, man. Oh, Totoro, here, hold this. Luckily, I have a backup C19 for just an occasion. Anyways, now that that's out of your system, because if it does get through the eyes or can, then wearing goggles or glasses or some other eye protection might be a good idea, because that is protecting you and is not anything about protecting them. but in protecting you, and protecting you is a good idea. It might be the case, it might not be. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, but hey, safety is better safe than sorry. So, anyways, I'm sure that you'll now be logical and rational that you've gotten that emotional outburst out of your system.
Yo, I don't know if you fucking realize this, but when you breathe,
see, even God agrees with me.
If my power goes out, y'all know why. So the air goes right the fuck up your eyes. Like, that's why people with glasses have their shit fog up.
I don't know if that's true or not, but okay.
And if I wear a mask for like 15 minutes, I'm like,
yes. And so you might be changing the way that you breathe because you're not used to wearing a mask. Just breathe normally in and out. Now, if you want to breathe better, you should technically be breathing through your nose in and then out your mouth. You shouldn't breathe in your mouth. It's technically, really, you should breathe only through your nose. But you know, I mean, it ultimately it's very little difference. But your nose has little nose hairs in it that can block a lot of things from getting into your body. So you're supposed to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth because you expel more quickly, and also it you know, it gets you could actually breathe out through your nose too, but it's a little bit better for you. Plus, it calms you down if you do it. If you're getting really excited and you stop and you go, you know, it really does. It helps you meditate and calm down a bit. So you might just be changing your breathing habit when you put on a mask because you're not used to it. And so you're not aware that you're changing how you're breathing, but that might be what's happening. And so after you just start breathing normally in the mask a while, you start to get used to it, and the feeling, the sensation of it goes away.
same. Yes.
Right. And if you're wearing it under your chin, you're not protecting anyone. So don't do that. If it's hard, again, I think people are just not used to it, and they need to just get used to it. That's it. Yeah, I know. It's a small, tiny bit of inconvenience. It's really not that hard. It really only takes a few minutes to get used to it. And unless you have some serious breathing issues, and even if you do, if you have asthma or whatever, you can still use a mask. It's just like very, very, very small amount of people. Like I think it's like 0.1% or something that actually have a medical condition. And those people probably carry around oxygen anyway, so they're already, you know. And hey, you could get a tube that connects to oxygen if you really are feeling, you know, like you can't breathe. You could do that, although that might be kind of costly. I don't know. I mean, but you know.
Thank you for commenting. I'm appreciating your what my brain is going. What's the fucking word? Companionship. I don't know. Brain go. Brrr. I know, you're so terrified. Even I was a little scared for a second. Damn. But like, also when it comes to the whole mask thing, I want to see more people trolling the mask mandates. Like the people who wear the Nazi mask, like they went a little heavy too hard too fast. Like if they should have written something on there, in my opinion. Like of course there are people wearing masks that are like, you know, just for your comfort or something. I don't know exactly what they say.
I don't care what the mask says on it. In fact, I thought a great way to try to maybe get people to wear the mask would be to make some red masks that say "Make America Great Again." I thought, hey, that would be brilliant. Trump should do that. He should release it for free. Like a whole bunch of them, whole bunches of masks that are red and say "Make America Great Again." And then the people will be like, hey, take that. Oh, they can't say to take it off like they did with the hat because they want you to wear the mask. It would be brilliant. But at any rate, I don't care if it says, you know, I hate wearing this mask, but I'm doing it for you. Fine, as long as you wear it, that's all that really matters. Because again, I do not know if you have it, and you do not know if you have it. And so you are protecting everyone else. This is for everyone else's benefit, not for just, it's not for you, it's for the rest of humanity.
I want to start seeing people get the weaves out here and get them in their anime masks, because y'all already wearing these that you got from con. I did. I got mine for like $6. Meanwhile, they're selling them for like $15 a piece at some places. I'm like,
again, you know, there are certain masks that you definitely shouldn't wear that will not help one way or the other. So make sure it's the right kind of mask, or it's not doing anyone any good anyways. So if you care about other people other than just you, and even if you care about yourself, again, if you're going to be lazy with your type of mask that you're wearing and not care if it's working or not, then somebody else might be as well. And, you know, there's a risk there. So don't just get any old random mask that you happen to see, but make sure it's medical and that it has the correct filters in it and so on and so forth. And I believe that there's at least a couple of guidelines out there. So, you know, it's not that hard. I'm assuming that the rest of the video is normal and there's nothing more for me to comment on here. So I think that this is done now. I don't think I need to continue. But because I'm a glutton for punishment, I'm going to see if there's more to comment on. So why not? I'm already here. I mean, it's like, it's 21 minutes. I'm only 8 minutes in. Should I? Maybe, I mean, I could always just come back later. What should I do, C19? Do more of the video. Okay. Well, C19 told me to do more, so this is your fault, just like everything else that's happening. You sent those bees, didn't you? No, that wasn't me. Yes, it was. Wait. Eating it would be a bad idea. Anyways, all right. What was I doing? Okay. You know, I mean, like, yeah.
There's always money to be made off of tragedy, am I right? So, okay. I want to see people start wearing like Bleach and Naruto masks and fucking Kitsune masks.
Yeah.
If I had the money, I would buy a fucking Kitsune mask and start parading around like a fucking Rika Furude or Baby Metal or something. And
I mean,
yeah. I mean,
okay.
If we're gonna really go all out, let's have that. I mean, Cyber Goth Rejoice. You get the gas masks, which are always popular in the goth subculture.
Now a gas mask actually will help no one at all in this case. Okay, a gas mask is meant to filter what you take in, not what you put out, and so this is for everyone else. This isn't about you. So I did, once upon a time, I was in the military and we did the gas chamber, which I think honestly the only reason they make you do it is because it's a ritual. There's no real reason to do it, you know. But at any rate, you go in there and you have this mask on, and I was breathing and I was thinking, man, this smells kind of funny and it's making my eyes water a little bit. But if that's as bad as this is, then that's not really that bad at all. But I was just smelling the mask. I wasn't smelling the gas. And the moment I took that thing off, whoo, eyes watering, couldn't breathe. You're supposed to say your name, rank, and serial number, and I could barely get that out, and then you're supposed to go. And and you're washing your face, and so that thing protects you from the gas outside with the filter. It does not protect what comes out of you, because what comes out of you, it doesn't care about. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to filter it out. It might filter it out, but typically gas masks are made to filter what's coming in. So it's not going to protect anyone else, and that's the whole point of the face mask, is to protect other people. So if you want to wear a face mask and a gas mask on top of that, then that would really protect you and everyone else. Although, unless they can see that you're wearing a mask, they might be like, hey, you got to have a mask, not just a gas mask. You have to have a mask on, because the whole point is to protect other people. So
whatever. and then the cyber goggles.
Yeah.
And then just go with the whole hair falls and everything, and the platform boots this tall and shit. Had the balls to do it. Oh man.
Oh, Totoro again? Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, I killed the thing. Oh, well, you know what? I killed the window accidentally. You know what? That must be a sign. Maybe there's nothing left for me to comment on this video about that I have to respond to. So honestly, I get where you're coming from, Southern Gothic. Obviously, I watch your content. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this in the first place. I understand it's frustrating. I understand it's annoying. I understand irritation. But at the end of the day, this is for everybody's benefit. They do work. They do lower the overall risk of transmitting the disease, even though you're not necessarily infected with this, which maybe you're not. You don't know, though. There's no real way to know that for sure, unless you've, like I said, just took the test. And even then, like immediately after taking the test and finding out, because like it takes like 3 to 4 days before you get the results sometimes. Sometimes it's faster. But let's just say you got the result immediately. That doesn't mean that you're not just going to breathe in and get it right then and there. Now, the chances of that happening are relatively low, but it could happen. So, again, it's not for you. It's for everyone else. It's for all of humanity here. And the rest of the world didn't really have, well, I mean, maybe they had some problems with it, but maybe it's an American thing. I don't know. I tend to think that as Americans, we're all about freedom, so to speak. And that's good. It's good to be for freedom. And we don't like being told what to do. And that's good to a point. And when it's something that seems like this is my personal space you're invading, it can feel a bit intrusive at first. But then you get used to it, and it's not that big of a deal. It's going to last for at least the rest of the year, maybe into next year as well, before we actually have a vaccine for this dang thing. And then it might continue to be a thing until everybody gets the vaccine, and that's going to take a while as well. So all I'm saying is get used to wearing the mask. Even if there's not a regulation requiring it, do it anyways, and maybe others will follow your example and also do it, because it's really showing that you care about them, not about protecting yourself so much. Although, and again, with the glasses thing, hey, it might be that wearing glasses is a good idea. I don't know that it is or isn't, but hey, better safe than sorry. You don't want your friends, families, or anyone else to get this dang thing. And we want to reopen businesses and get people back to work. But the only way to do that safely is if everyone agrees to do these things like wearing a mask, and then that will hopefully enable you to to get a job or to get your job back or whatever. And I know it's tough, but that's the way it is. All right, that's all I've got. Remember, don't throw your COVID-19 in your soda, and take care.